red leather, yellow leather, stock price, shareholder. Xbox was denied a bank loan. Phil Spencer challenges Furukawa to a Mario Kart race. Winner takes Nintendo. Okay, I'm ready. Wait. I thought this was an Xbox business update. Oh man, I'm wildly overdressed. I apologize. Well, that is worse. Okay, from the top, Xbox Developer Direct. Let's go. I've been critical recently regarding Xbox's marketing, what with the way they've presented Game Pass on the Amazon Fire Stick and the whole concept of this is an Xbox, where everything is an Xbox. Not because I think those are bad moves, but because I think it's way too early to be leading with that type of messaging. Those things are still just additive to the current Xbox experience, which is best on console or PC. But Xbox on cloud, on mobile? Meh. I mean, these things should exist. They should. But they shouldn't be the focus. Well, with the newest Xbox Developer Direct, Microsoft proved they still know how to handle good old-fashioned games marketing. And I've got to say, with this being the third annual Developer Direct, I think Xbox has really nailed the presentation. I don't think there is a game showcase format that can touch this. I love the way they really dwell on each game, giving you insight not just into the mechanics and story of the games themselves, but also into what the developers were focused on and what they are hoping to deliver with the games. So it needs to be said, Xbox, hats off, you dirty dog. This was a damn fine showing. More of this, please. Okay, obviously we need to talk about the games themselves, but first, two little small things I noticed. One of the developers at Compulsion is still using an Xbox 360 controller, the GOAT. That's inconsequential, I know, but I got a kick out of it. I said two small things. And the second thing is that in describing the story of their games, the two first-party studios, id and Compulsion, use the term hero's journey. Common enough.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey.
Your hero's journey will take you to the far reaches of the Doom universe.
Probably just a coincidence. But it made me wonder, and this is a little bit stupid, I admit, but if at a company like Microsoft that isn't exactly creative in its DNA, are there just executives badgering these studios with a creativity checklist they Googled right before each meeting? Like, but does it have a hero's journey? Uh-huh. And what about a protagonist? Okay, now let's get to the games. You know, it's hard not to want to just gush over everything they showed. First up, Ninja Gaiden 4. Looked awesome. Obviously coming from Koei Tecmo as publisher, but in partnership being developed with Platinum Games, you know, Nier Automata, Bayonetta, Astral Chain. When they hit, they hit. Obviously, they're coming off a little bit of a rough patch with Babylon's Fall being a flop, but, you know, I think they've still got one in them. I think they've still got it in them. That game looks sick. Fall 2025. Clearly, they've been working on this for a minute. Ninja Gaiden 4 looks incredible. And if you remember at the beginning of the year, I talked about wanting to get into the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection because I don't know Ninja Gaiden like I should. But when I saw Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, the 2D side-scroller, announced at the Game Awards, I was like, it's time. The only Ninja Gaiden I'm familiar with, really, is the first Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. And I never beat this sucker. I used to rent this from Blockbuster several different weekends, brought this home. 2004, Jeff just getting annihilated, stomped into the ground by this game. I found it really tough, but I've wanted to get back around to it. And with Ragebound being announced, and now they're announcing Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm like, okay, it's go time. I need to get into the Gaiden series. Need to start knocking this out. Need to finish some of these off. Very excited. And on top of that, they shadow drop Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Unreal Engine 5 remake / remaster make? I don't know how, that sounded like a weird word. I don't know what you call it, but awesome looking. Shadow dropped onto Game Pass. It's also on PS5 and PC, I believe. I'm gonna have to, maybe this has to wait. Now I'm thinking maybe this has to wait and I just go right into 2. Let me know in the comments if you're like a Ninja Gaiden person Do I need to play Ninja Gaiden? I think Sigma's the one in the Master Collection, which is what I want to touch. Do I need to do that first, or can I just jump into 2 and that'll kind of get me ready? Don't tell me I gotta play Sigma, Sigma 2, and Razor's Edge, because I'll do it. Okay, and then next, South of Midnight. I'm more and more interested in this game the more I hear about it. I think the story and world look incredibly intriguing. You don't often get like American Southern folklore in games. It's just not that common. So this is really cool. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think the art style looks awesome. I think the combat looks okay. Like, it looks decent. It doesn't look, I'm not like, whoa, look at those mechanics, or like, that's really intriguing. I'm just like, okay, it looks serviceable. It looks like it could be fun combat. And I think that's maybe all you need for something like this, because it's going to be one of those games where it's like, as you know, as a cohesive whole, it's really interesting, right? So I'm very curious about this game. I think the only thing kind of holding me back is Compulsion as a studio has never wowed me before, right? Like, I fell off We Happy Few. I mean, I barely gave that game more than an hour. I could just tell it wasn't for me. The game before that was, I think, Contrast. That was another game I got a couple hours into, went through a few levels. It was interesting, but it just wasn't grabbing me. So with that sort of track record, I'm cautious about South of Midnight, but it's definitely the most ambitious game they've ever attempted. Looks really cool. You know, fingers crossed. I hope it's a killer. They follow that up with Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This one looks insane. It's cool to see AAA graphics in the turn-based JRPG genre. You don't get that often these days. And not to say we haven't had good JRPGs, just they don't usually have that level of fidelity. So hope it's good. It looks gorgeous, and it might inspire other studios to start maybe adopting that or taking bigger risks with some of these games and really giving them, you know, the sort of modern refresh and look that lets them compete maybe with some of the more like character action or like story-based games, you know, RPGs that do get those modern graphics. And now, last but not least, Doom: The Dark Ages. Look, I loved Doom 2016. Speaking of taking a game that's got like classic gameplay and giving it like, you know, the trappings of modernity, Doom 2016. Wow, right? They really showed you could take Doom, like the classic shooter, no reloading, run and gun. You could take that, you could modernize it. Love that game. Surprisingly, there are a lot of games out there, and just whatever, I never got to Doom Eternal. Never got all the way through it. I've been in the middle of a Doom Eternal playthrough trying to get it done before the Dark Ages. So it really stood out to me when Id was talking about Doom Eternal feeling like being in a fighter jet. And the idea with Doom: The Dark Ages is to make it feel like you're in, you know, a heavy tank. Because I don't think Doom Guy jumped once in any of the footage shown in this presentation. You know, they say grounded and they meant it. Your boots are like stapled to the ground. You are heavy. It's a lot about parrying, big focus on that shield. The guns seem impactful and immediate. It just seemed very like you're like barreling through the level rather than like dancing through it. So I am curious like how that's gonna work. Doom feeling a little bit slower. And the thing is, it looks like it feels slower. It might not feel slower. If you're still having to do the same amount of decision making in the game, then the moment to moment might still feel very kinetic and very fast. I just don't know. It looks badass though. It looks awesome. I'm very, very excited to check out Doom: The Dark Ages. I'm curious too if it's going to be another hub world. It seemed like they were alluding to it maybe being more of an open world. I don't know if I need Doom to be open world. Like, is that what I want out of a shooter? Not really. I think there's enough open world games. Maybe too many. I think maybe open world might be one of the few genres where it's like there literally are too many, just because of how long open world games end up being. And honestly, most games aren't worth that length of time. Like, I would rather have a game like Doom 2016. You can beat it in like, I don't know, 10, 15 hours, and it like begs to be replayed. I don't know why I'm getting negative suddenly on Doom: The Dark Ages. I think it looks amazing. That just kind of threw me for a little bit of it kind of like, you know, oh wait, is it going to be open world? Like, it's really expansive. It's the largest. I don't know. That was just one thing that kind of caught me, but I'm very excited to play it. I'm just hyped. I watched that and each game kind of got me hyped. I was like, yes, I want to see more. I like what I'm hearing. It looks good. Let's go. Xbox is all, this is all, except for Ninja Gaiden 4, this is all either right now or like April and May. Like this is first half of the year stuff. All right. And you know, Xbox also has Avowed coming out in what, February? They are packed. We don't even know what the back half of the year is going to be. I really hope that there is stuff for the back half of the year and like Xbox isn't front loading it. And then by the holidays, we're all bored. Obviously, we won't be bored. There's other games, there's third parties. GTA is supposed to come out. I still think GTA is getting delayed. But yeah, very curious to see what else they've got in the chamber. But that's it. I should go.